Hi, friends. How are you today? It's Peggy Noe from PrettyPaperCards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here with my little Yorkshire Terrier, Ellie. I was telling her to get you guys. I said, go get him. Go get him out there. Go get him out there. And she gets all alert because that's what I tell her to do when she has toys, out in the distance. I throw the toy and I tell her to go get it. Go get it. Go get him. Go get him. And it makes her a little more spunky, doesn't it? Do you want a cookie? Do you want a little cookie before we start? Let's see if I can get this little thing open with one hand. I don't know if I can. Let's try it. She loves her cookies. Okay, let's see if we can get this open for you. Okay, there's your cookies in there. Should we give you one? Okay, Renee, good to see you. Holly, good to see you. I'm going to give her a cookie for being a good girl. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. She does seem a little more alert than a lot of times, doesn't she? I'm thankful. Okay, I'm going to check. I know we are live because I see you guys on there, but I'm just going to confirm here on my phone. And let's see. Let me get this going. How are you doing today, Renee and Holly? How's your Friday going? You ready for the weekend? I am. I'm totally ready for the weekend. I don't know about you guys. Okay, there we go. I see that we're live. Excellent. I like to do that. Okay. I'm ready to rest a little bit. Pam, good to see you. Hot and muggy, North Carolina. Okay, North Carolina, hot and muggy. Yep, I know. It's warm here, but it's not muggy. And I feel like for all of us, it's just going to get worse. Tina, good to see you. Diane, there you are. Glad you made it. Yes, happy Friday. Vicki Eakins, good to see you. We're here. It's Friday. We are going to have a nice weekend. We're going to take my husband out to dinner tomorrow night for Father's Day. So that's going to be fun. Carol Schaefer, hello from Connecticut. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. What are you guys doing this weekend? It's a nice kind of a restful weekend. Not a lot going on. Cindy Howard, good to see you. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone. I appreciate your sharing. On YouTube and on Facebook, both. I need to get my YouTubes up a little bit. Renee, good so far. A little rain. Taking the grandkids to see Inside Out 2 tomorrow. Oh, cute. So cute. That looks like a darling movie. I saw some little previews of it. It looked really cute. Cindy Reed, good to see you. Let me just switch arms so I can have a little bit of my soda. Vicki, 90 in Delaware. You're still in Delaware. That's right. 56% humidity. Ugh. Yeah, I know. I hear ya. That's when you just stay inside in the air conditioner. Just stay inside. And I think, are you watching grandkids? I think, Vicki. If you don't have to do that, you can make cards, which is very, very nice and very handy. So I think I'm actually going to put Ellie down because we've got stuff to do today. We have places to go and people to see. I'm sorry, Pam. I'm sorry that it's freezing, going in and out. I don't like that. There's the one thing, turn your computer or your pad off and on and clear the cache, which I never know how to do. She did look tired. One thing, what I do, if you don't know how to quote, clear your cache, C-A-C-H-E, on your computer or whatever, I just Google that. I put the type of computer I have or whatever, and I say clear cache, C-A-C-H-E, and it'll tell me how to do that, and it really will help. Good, Carol and Cindy, no problem. Excellent. Okay, let's just turn down And there we go. We've got some little things to talk about. The sale is still going on, 10% off of our machines. Linda Leonhardt, good to see you from Pennsylvania. How's Pennsylvania today? So 10% off the machines and an additional 10% off all Stampin' Die bundles, which is excellent. So that's a total of 20% off Stampin' Die bundles. And if you're a demonstrator, you get even more off. So if you're not a demonstrator, I'm going to be talking to you today because we have so many great things. Bring your fan to dinner. Diane Danick. It's supposed to, extreme heat. 113 for Diane. Oh boy. Yes, put prize. Vicki went to the park early, then stay in the air conditioning and made cards yesterday. Good. Linda Leonhardt, very hot and humid. Thunderstorms. And Jeanne, good to see you. Okay, so we talked about this sale. If you want Stampin' Die bundles, this is the time to get them. Or if you want to get an extra machine, I have a couple machines, especially my little blue one I love. The Glass Mat Studio, we've talked about this before. It's coming back for customers on July 3rd. But if you want to get it now, and I'm going to show you today one great reason for using it. I'll tell you in just a minute. Yes, everybody put the word prize. The glass mat, I am just shocked at how much I like it. I really didn't, I thought, I'll just use it a short time and then not, but I really like it. So if you're a demonstrator now, you can pre-order it. If you're not, you have to wait till July 3rd. And it became available for demonstrators on June 5th. So it's a good reason to be a demonstrator. Okay, we're going to talk about online exclusive pre-order in just a minute, but first I want to remind you about my faith journal and how you can create your own. And for my YouTube and Facebook friends, Facebook, it's up above, YouTube, it's down below. I put the names of the 2 kits that I use to create this and their item numbers and their price so that you can order the 2 kits. One is the travel journal kit. It has another name, Scenic Route or something. Scenic Route Travel Journal, and the beautiful expressions of something, inspiration or something. So it's the 2 kits combined that create this beautiful faith journal. And if you order those 2 kits from me in my online store, I will send you the scripture verses. Thank you, Pam. And I will send you a video tutorial, which I just made last night, of exactly how to assemble this with your 2 kits. It's really easy and quick. And I was thinking today, we may not be thinking of Christmas gifts yet, but this would make a lovely Christmas gift. It really would. So go ahead and snag those 2 kits in my online store, and I will send you all the instructions and the verses for how to create that beautiful journal. And that offer is good as long as the kits are available, which we don't know. They're online exclusive. They're just kits. They're not online exclusives. And good to see you from West Virginia. Okay, now the online exclusives. Demonstrators are pre-ordering those right now, and those go live for customers on July 3rd. But I'm going to show you, we've already done a pre-order of them, a preview of the beautiful Christmas online exclusives that are going to be coming, all kinds of holidays. And I want to remind you, there's also going to be a Halloween online exclusive bundle. And we talked about this, and I got this, and we're going to use it today a bit. The Changing Leaves bundle. Demonstrators can get it now because demonstrators can pre-order. And it is really, really neat. And I'm going to show you some of it right now. So here is the Changing Leaves bundle. You get a stamp set and a die set, just like that. And then you also get the die. Wendy, good to see you from Portland. Excuse me, you get a, it's hot hard to talk and say what I want to say and also look at your comments, because I end up wanting to just get in a huge conversation with you guys over there. And then I lose my place in my talking. Okay, so the Changing Leaves bundle comes with the stamp set, the die set, and an embossing folder. So it's called a hybrid embossing folder. And what that means is that the dies go inside the embossing folder. So here's the large die. It goes inside the embossing folder, and let me see if I had it figured out yesterday. Here we go. And it just sets right in there like that. On the front side, I think it's the side with the label, with the Stampin' Up level. It's always on that side, and it just kind of sets right in there. It just fits in there, and you can see. I think that's the way it goes. Amazon. Okay, it definitely is this side. Yeah, I was right. The side with the label. Okay, baby. Okay. Shh. Must be Amazon. Okay, so it fits right in there, and then you put your paper and close it up with your paper, run it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You have to use the full-size one. And then you have an embossed and a cut piece with the leaves and everything. And then it also has some other very cute little dies. And I'm going to show you. Colleen Ludicky, good to see you. Carol McKinney, Rebecca Schlossnagel. Ooh, love to see you guys. Okay, here I stamped the different stamps that are in the set. So there's a large leaf that is cut by the embossing folder, the hybrid embossing folder, a medium-sized leaf, and that to me looks like a maple leaf. And then I stamped out the sentiments so you can kind of see them. They're a bit small, but they're pretty. I like them. And then I just started playing, and I'm going to show you what turned out. Okay, this is a piece to go on the front of a card that I embossed. I did not die cut. I just used the embossing folder, and then I brushed with a blending brush in, I think, Lemon Lime Twist. And so that would be a very beautiful background to a card. Linda, it is a really pretty embossing folder. Okay, now let me see. Here is a leaf that I die cut and embossed. This is Granny Apple Green, and I want you to be able to see. Can you see the embossing on that leaf? It's really pretty. And so and I cut a couple of those, because when you just put a piece of paper in there, 6 by 6, and this is what it will cut for you. These 3 leaves, aren't those pretty? And all with the embossed part, and you can use the die alone, you can use the embossing folder alone, or you can use them together. And that's how I'm thinking. I'm not really into fall yet, so I'm actually really pretty much thinking of summer, which is why you're seeing the colors that I'm using. I didn't want to use dark colors quite yet. Then what I did, how did I do this? I don't know how I did that. I think, what I did is I took when this came out, when these came out of the embossed piece, then I used the blending brush and blended the inside where the pieces had come out. I'm trying to remember what you call that. And so you can get some nice just blended leaves. I know, the veins. And then this is one that I stamped. I stamped and embossed and die cut this one. So that has a lot of stuff going on. That is very pretty. And I blended on it. Here is a big black one. I showed you how I had been stamping in black. Here are some that I just stamped in pumpkin pie. I did get a little feeling of fall there going. That's pumpkin pie. Maybe if I put it on this, you could even see it better. I mean, these would look beautiful just on this background. You could just have them coming down like that with a little bow or something up here. Isn't that cute? And a sentiment. Here are more black ones, more black leaves. Okay, so, Diane, oh, you can't find the item number? Look under online exclusives. If you're a demonstrator and you look under online exclusives and sort by newest, it will show up for you. If you're not a demonstrator, it won't show up for you. That's how you find them, under online exclusives on the website. Okay, there's another little green leaf. And then here is something I did that I didn't totally like the way it turned out, but this was a die cut and embossed piece. And then I used Stampin' Blends just to see how it would look. And this is Pretty Peacock, and this is Lost Lagoon. And it was just a little playing around. But then I thought, you know, if you put that in with some others, kind of like this, these are the ones I did with the, the blank space that cuts out. Some of you know that name of what that is. I'll think of it, you know, later. And if you put that under like that, it would look good. I just didn't like the way I did use the alcohol markers, but I do love the colors. So those are just some of the amazing things you can do with this set, okay? And I didn't make a formal card with all of this because I was still playing. I was just playing. You know how you do that? You just play with all the stuff, right? So, but the card I made, I did use a few of the dies from the set. And this is the card we're going to do today. And I'm going to let you know something. It's a messy card. I can't believe it. I don't like to make messy cards. You know that. But we're going to do a little bit of watercoloring. And these two leaves here, if you can see them, and this, I have this out to use with my little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. But these are dies from this Changing Leaf set that I used on this card. I couldn't resist it because this is a leaf card and these are leaf dies. And I really like this label die. And there's also a small one and there's a circle. So the Changing Leaves dies are cool. It's not just that one big one. So let me set these to the side because we're going to do a little cutting with these in a bit. A little die cutting. But this is the card we're going to make. And I also have been wanting to use another new set that I have. And it's called You Are Beautiful. It's just an individual stamp set. It doesn't really have any dies with it. It has a beautiful Bible verse. And I'm sure we'll probably do a Faith Creations class in the future. But I wanted to focus today on these leaves because I think they're pretty. And I wanted to use this sentiment, you are beautiful. You know, that is so encouraging to women to tell them you're beautiful. And also, make today amazing and you are a shining light. We need to encourage one another, ladies. We really do. And so I wanted to make a card that said, you are beautiful. So, and here's the envelope. I put this little, there are the two leaves here in this set. There's the long one and the little small one with some berries. And I put that over there. So, should we attempt our watercoloring? I've got two pieces in case I do it wrong. Okay, let's just start with that, okay? So I've got two pieces of the Fluid 100 watercolor paper that is that you can get from Stampin' Up, special for watercoloring. And we're going to use ink refills, and we're using two of my favorite colors, Petunia Pop, which is one of the new ink colors, and Lemon Lolly, which is I love. Okay, and let's get our stamps. Here we have the little leaf, and here we have the large leaf. This is a red rubber stamp. And then we're going to use a clear acetate sheet. I don't even know, can you see it there? There's my light reflecting in it. And we're going to make a little mess here on this acetate sheet. And then we're going to stamp on our paper. And I've got two pieces in case it doesn't turn out right the first time. Always have an extra sheet. Okay, and we're also going to use here a water spritzer. So I have clear water in here. You can fill these with alcohol if you're using alcohol, say with your Stampin' Blends, alcohol markers, but we're using the Stampin' Up! Regular ink, which is water-based. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this is where we're gonna get our ink from, right here. So what I'm gonna do, and I've got some paper towels, let me get those out handy. Alrighty, we're ready. So what I'm gonna do is spray some water on the acetate sheet. I'm gonna cover it pretty well, okay? Because that's what's gonna allow the colors to blend together. And I'm gonna put a few drops. Hello, Mimi, good to see you. A few drops of the Petunia Pop, okay, like that. And we'll put a few drops of the Lemon Lolly. I hope this turns out right, you know, when you're playing around here. In fact, I think I'll just put 4 drops because this is the lighter color. All right. And then what we're going to do is kind of try to roll it around a little bit. We're just going to let it roll around and just kind of do its thing. Let's just get it to kind of move a bit. I tried spraying another time and that didn't work out because, whoa. See, this is what I was telling you about the glass mat. So handy. If you spray another time, it really just gets mushy and messy. Okay, so I'm going to just try to get it a little, moving around a little bit more. I'm going to get a paper towel going. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and we're going to see how it's going to turn out. That is underneath the acetate sheet, that little blurb right there. So here's our large leaf, and I'm just going to put this stamp down on the ink like that, okay? And then we're going to stamp it on our watercolor paper. There we go. And then we're going to do it a little bit more. Let me see if you can see it. Okay, there we go. And it's okay if water gets on the back. Let me move this up so you can see this better. Okay. And then we'll take this and do like that. And to keep it from running, one thing I do is I just blot it. If I kind of like the way it looks right there, I just blot it. And the little blotches don't matter so much because we're going to kind of cover those up. And so this is then the smaller stamp. I am not a watercolor person at all. I mean, I'm not like I really know nothing, but I just play around. There's another one. Okay, and then I want to get a little more yellow in there. And so I'll put some up here. We're just creating a background, okay? And then I'll just blot that off a bit. And that is not a bad background, right? Hi, Julia. Good to see you. And it's not too bad. I kind of like it. Let's do another one just for fun, just to see, because every one turns out different. And I want to get a little more of that yellow in there, that lemon lolly, which I like so much. So I'm going to add a few more dots, and I'm just going to try to move it a little bit. It's going to blend already on its own, kind of like that. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and blot off my stamp just to get the water off of both of the stamps. We don't really need to clean it so much because we're still using the water. See how messy this is? Okay, so here we go. And let's pull this little thing down, and we're just going to try it again and see what happens. Okay, let's see. Here we go. See how each one looks so different? Just put this one sideways. See how that looks real different? And we'll use the little one. We'll just put that a couple of different places and stick that up there. And we'll put it down here a little bit. Okay. And then we'll just blot to get off the extra moisture. Isn't that kind of cute? And it is pretty. And it's, you know, I know there are rhymes and reasons to all of this. I just go for it. You know, this didn't really take any teaching or anything. you just play. It'll come out beautiful. Don't be afraid. I'm not afraid. The only thing I don't like is the mess. So that's why I have my paper towels here, is just to clean up my mess. And I'm just going to set this over there. And then I'm going to use another paper towel so our surface is nice and clean as we finish. As we, complete our card. Let me just blot off our stamps. But it's not too bad. It's not too hard. It's not, so there, poof, it's all cleaned up. So for a person who doesn't like a mess, easy way to make a pretty background. And with the colors that you like, you just choose the colors that you like. Okay, let's put the rest, let me make sure this is, okay, that's nice and dry. Make sure my hands are pretty okay. So we're going to use, for our card base, we're going to use a piece of Lemon Lolly as our card base, Lemon Lolly cardstock. And it's cut at 8.5, whoops, there's my little light there, okay. Cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score it at 4.25. Let me just pull it up a little and get it nice and even. Doesn't that glass mat just come in handy? You always clean your window sheets with watercolor paper. Oh, that's not a bad idea, Renee. What a great idea. I dropped something down here. That's a great idea, because then you get another piece. I hadn't even thought of that. Okay, so there's our card base. And what I've done is so these are our two colors that we're using. Yes. Well, it could have gone to messy brown, Cindy, if I let it go too much longer. When it starts blending, like right in here, it almost went to messy brown, don't you think? Just a little bit. So this piece here, and I'm measuring on you can measure on your glass mat. I've really gotten used to this. This is 3.5 by 4.75 is the size that I cut this to. And then I cut the petunia pop to 1/8 of an inch larger, so that it just barely peeks out, rather. And I thought that would look really pretty if it just barely peeks out. So let's see which one. I'm tending toward this one because it has a little more of the lemon in it. But let's take a look at what we think this one looks like. I do kind of like the more lemony one, but I'm going to save the other one to use another time. I think I like this better, don't you? Yeah. Okay. So let's just go ahead and we'll glue this so it's just got a little tiny border. I'm liking that these days because it's not like a big fat color border, a big 1/4 inch or more. This is just a delicate little border. Let's just move that about until we get it just the way we want it. Put a little glue on there. Let me just get that off with my nail. You could use a bone folder or something. I'm feeling like this isn't quite light enough for you. Can you see it well? Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and just glue this right onto the Lemon Lolly front. And the rest is just fun. The rest is just pure decorating. And we did get, there are some little dots in there. It actually looks like a little splatter, and you just leave that. Is the white paper, it's watercolor paper. Yep, Rebecca, that's watercolor paper. Because when you're using, I want it to really absorb. And that's what the watercolor paper does. And plus, you can get 2 of these out of one piece of watercolor paper, this size, the 3.5 by 4.75, which I like to do because if you make the larger size paper, you can't. Anyway, if you cut it larger, you can't get another large size one. Anyway, all right. So we've got this. And now what we're going to do is let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. You are beautiful. Get my lid on my glue here. And we're going to use Petunia Pop. And again, this stamp set is You Are Beautiful. And it's just a simple little stamp set, but I really like it. Okay, so we're going to stamp You Are Beautiful right on here. And we don't have to be straight because we are going to cut this with our die that is from the Changing Leaves stamp set that's coming out as an online exclusive starting the 3rd of July, but you can get it now if you'd like to join Stampin' Up and get your starter kit, which would be such a great idea. And I would love to have you on my team. I would love to have all of you guys on my team. I've said that before, but I seriously mean it. Let me just get this a little closer. Alrighty, let's see. That looks about even. Alright, let's try this. I really like this label die. It's pretty, it's stitched an oval, a long oval, which I don't think we've had before. Okay, so here's our little die. Isn't that cute? I just think that's such a cute little die. Okay. And while we're at it, we're going to go ahead and cut a leaf. I've already pre-cut these little tiny lemon lolly leaves. I have 2 of those, which I've pre-cut for us. But I thought we'll go ahead and cut one from Flirty Flamingo. And you know why? I looked at this when these colors combined, and doesn't it kind of look like Flirty Flamingo a little bit? It does. So I thought, whoa, let's just cut one from Flirty Flamingo. So here's a little scratch piece of paper, and this is a neat leaf. I mean, it is making me think of fall, but we've got a lot of hot summer to go through before we get there. I'm going to go over this twice just to make sure it cuts well. Okay, and there's our little leaf. And we're going to take your pick tool with the little brush attachment to get out all those little pieces. And then I can just use the little pointy end to poke the leaf out. Come on out, little leaf. Let's see here. Isn't that pretty? Let me just brush that back. Isn't that just a pretty leaf? I do like that. I love open leaves, and I think that looks so good. Okay, so we've got our label. We're just going to layer things up here. We've got that leaf. We've got 2 of these little leaves. And on top of that, in addition to that, I was going to put some baker's twine, but interestingly, I ran out. Here I had, you know, that 3-color baker's twine, and that had this cute one that matched the color. I think it's Flirty Flamingo, or it could have been Calypso Coral, that little baker's twine. So I've got white, and I've got, we might just use linen thread. What do you think about that? Here's some linen thread. I think I'm going to use linen thread just to add another little color there. Catastrophe averted. Okay, so let's cut off a little bit of linen thread here, and we'll tie a bow, and then we'll put everything all together. It's kind of like when you prep a meal, when you're watching those cooking shows. They usually have all the stuff prepped before they start. So before we're going to put everything together, we're going to prep everything, and then we'll arrange it and secure it down with adhesive. Okay, so here's our little bow. And we're just going to tuck the bow under everything. I just like to have bows. And when you put the linen thread, it doesn't really cause much trouble in mailing. Like if you're using ribbon, a lot of times it causes a bit more trouble in mailing because it makes the envelope a little bit fatter. So I'm going to pull this out a bit because I want it to really show. Okay. Here we go. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to secure this little bow with Stampin' Dimensionals that are also going to adhere the sentiment. So what I want to do is figure out where I want my sentiment. And I think I'm going to lower it a bit and have it kind of right down at the bottom there. So I'm going to put a Stampin' Dimensional right there to secure the bow near the knot to the paper. And then I'm going to add a dimensional there on each end. And doing this raises the sentiment so that then we can tuck the leaves under. So let's see if we can get this to work. Okay, so I'm not sure how much that will stick out. Okay, let's try that. There you go. That looks pretty good. Okay, now we see our bow sticking out of both sides, the top and the bottom. Although this one, it isn't sticking out too much, so we'll pull and see if we can get the other one to get a little smaller. There we go. That looks a little more balanced, doesn't it? And now all we're going to do is tuck our leaves in. And I think we'll tuck the big Flirty Flamingo leaves in first. And I don't glue the top, I just glue the bottom. And when we stick it inside there, it's going to go in between the dimensionals, and so it's right in there, and the little glue is hidden. And we'll do the same thing. You know what, with this one I'm going to trim off the tip, the base there, that little stem. I'm going to put some glue right in there, just a little bit, and then we'll have that. Whoa, well, okay, that's going to stick in there. I don't know if we need another one or not. Let's test. Let's give a little test. Should we have a second one? I don't know. Maybe. Okay. Maybe or maybe not. Yes, I think we need a second one. Okay, we'll just put a little glue back there. And we'll tuck this one down under here so it just barely pokes up. Kind of like that. And then we'll just trim off our tips here. Isn't that kind of cute? Whoops. I should sharpen my scissors. They're dull. They're a little bit dull. I think that is a super cute card. And now we better add some in color resin dots. And these were out for a while, but they are back. I was just on the website earlier today, and they are back. So if you have been looking for the in color resin dots, you'll want to get them now. So I'm actually going to use, let's see, I think I'm just going to use some of the little small Petunia Pop dots. And we'll put 3 around there. I think I'll put 1 here on the label just for fun. I like to press them down pretty good to make sure they don't come off. And we'll put 1 up there. And we should put something on the inside of our card. Let's see. How are we doing on time? We got a minute. Okay. I don't know if that's the right size. Let's see. I want a little smaller piece. That's a smaller one. There we go. I usually like 3 3/4 by 5 for my inside piece. So let's put that little leaf on the inside here and see how that looks. Thank you, Linda. I love these colors too. So this is going to be a little bit dark, but it's okay. It looks good. And let's put that on the outside of our envelope also. And I think anybody would love to receive this card that says you are beautiful. You know, a daughter would be a good person to send one of these to. Or a dear friend. I really like that sentiment. Okay, so we're just going to put a little glue, and then our card is going to be done. And this is going to be the prize for next week, next Friday. So if you put the word prize, you'll be entered to win from the random number generator. You'll be entered to win this card that says you are beautiful. And let me just tell you, you are beautiful. And I think our card came out really nice. I really like it. It actually has a bit of a fall look from where lemon lolly blended that way, it did come out a little orange looking, didn't it? Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna try to get, there we go. Okay, we're back. So, I do too, Linda. Thank you, Julia. So our prize from last week was a set of the In Color resin dots. And we had a lot of people who put prize for this because these are so pretty. And the winner, the random number generator, chose Linda Leonhardt. Linda, congratulations. I'm so excited to send these to you or to anybody. Like I said, they're back in stock. So I had gotten these quite a while ago before they went out of stock, and now they're back. So if you want some, go over to the online store and grab them. So congratulations, Linda. I'm really excited, and I will get these out to you. So thank you all so much for stopping by today. I appreciate you making a card with me and making a messy, kind of a messy card that I don't always prefer to make. But come back next Wednesday. We'll do something else. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and stay in the air conditioning. If it's warm outside, stay in there and relax.